Driving all the way from Shenzhen to here really felt like an epic journey. And now our adventure in the UK begins right here. This British-style village is actually part of the event grounds. As we head farther north, the landscape begins to change dramatically. Rolling clouds, sweeping valleys, and tranquil lakes blend into a rugged landscape, while a winding mountain road leads us onward. This place is called Snake Pass. It's an incredible road, packed with tight bends that climb steadily uphill. The name fits perfectly, doesn't it? Not exactly. Snake Pass got its name because it was built during the time of the William Cavendish family, whose coat of arms featured a coiled snake. They also built an inn at the entrance to the pass with a giant snake sign, and that's how the name Snake Pass came about. That said, the literal meaning isn't far off. The road is packed with endless twists and turns, making it one of the UK's favorite driving routes. On weekends and holidays, enthusiasts come here to experience it for themselves. And speaking of mountain roads, today we're putting the U7 to the test. With 4 electric motors, massive power, and ultra-precise torque vectoring at each wheel, it carves through corners with incredible speed and stability. Absolutely incredible. The D-Sous Plus suspension feels completely at home on Snake Pass. The scenery along this route is breathtaking. On one side is the stunning Hope Valley, while the other showcases classic English countryside. In the distance, you can even spot Dumford Edge and Black Ashap. It feels like driving through the set of a movie. And along the way, we've got a few surprises waiting for you too. Sometimes all that stops you are a few black and white sheep crossing the road. Instead of rushing on, it's worth pulling over and soaking in the golden afternoon light. We're now heading west, chasing the last rays of sunlight as we climb higher into the mountains. Along the way, we even met a family out walking with 2 adorable dogs. Just look at the view behind me. It's almost unbelievable. Hiking up here isn't easy though, with the steep climb and rocky trail. One funny thing I noticed is that people here don't throw tennis balls for their dogs. They toss surprisingly large rocks instead, and the dogs happily go after them. Definitely something you don't see every day. This landscape feels like it's straight out of a classic film. The moment is fleeting, so all I want to do is run toward the fading light, catch the pink sunset melting into the sky, and take in the valley at its most spectacular. These dramatic black cliffs define the landscape here. Right beneath my feet is a sheer rock face that's both breathtaking and awe-inspiring. Behind me lies Hope Valley, with the reservoir stretching into the distance. People often describe this place as a blend of the Lake District and the Scottish Highlands, combining tranquil lakes with vast upland scenery. Dumford Edge is easily one of the best viewpoints around, and sitting right here on the cliff gives you the perfect vantage point. This moment was everything I hoped for. The sky kept changing colors as the sunset painted the clouds, filling the entire landscape with a sense of peace and freedom. Now it's time for the next leg of the journey, and it feels like stepping into a completely different world. Have you ever heard the saying, "When you're tired of London, you're tired of life"? We're about to find out whether it's true. But driving in London is a completely different experience. City driving in the UK couldn't be more different from the mountain roads we've just explored. The first thing you notice is that people drive on the left in the UK, which takes some getting used to for us. The roads are also incredibly narrow. Whether the roads shape the cars or the cars shape the roads, even one-way and two-way streets feel surprisingly tight. Another thing is the sheer number of roundabouts. Instead of traffic lights, almost every intersection uses one. Maybe it's because they're cheaper to build and maintain, but whether you're turning left or right, you're almost always going through a roundabout first. Thankfully, this sedan has rear-wheel steering, and I leave it on almost all the time in the city. It dramatically shrinks the turning circle, making the car feel as nimble as the compact cars you see all over the UK, and taking a lot of the stress out of city driving. Britain's road network was built a long time ago, so the pavement isn't always perfectly smooth. Even the speed bumps are shorter and steeper than what we're used to. Before crossing sections like these, we usually raise the suspension. The system even remembers the location, so the next time we pass by, the car automatically lifts itself at exactly the same spot. If every road in the UK had technology like this, driving here would be a lot more comfortable. Even though driving in London can be challenging, it's still an incredibly captivating city. Big Ben, Tower Bridge, the London Eye, and the British Museum make it one of the world's most iconic destinations. Walking along the River Thames, you can really feel London's blend of old and new. Watching traffic cross Tower Bridge, boats glide beneath it, or simply enjoying a coffee by the river is enough to appreciate the city's unique charm. Head over to Greenwich for a different side of London, and when evening falls, sitting beneath Big Ben as the city lights come alive is an unforgettable experience. The sunset reflects across the Thames, shifting from golden hues to deep crimson. Every moment by the river captures a different side of London. And with that, our journey across the UK is almost at an end. Throughout this trip, the U7 has been with us every step of the way, from England's southern coastline to the Peak District in the north. We've explored much of central and southern England along the way. I also checked the trip distance. In this journey alone, the car covered nearly 1,500 kilometers and gave me countless unforgettable memories, especially the reactions from people here in the UK. time after time, locals would walk over whenever we stopped. They'd ask, "Is this your car?" And when I said yes, the next thing I'd hear was how beautiful they thought it looked. Even Chinese residents living here were excited, asking if they could take photos with the car. Of course, I happily said yes every time. Unfortunately, I didn't capture those moments on camera, but the admiration and enthusiasm people showed for the car left a lasting impression on me. It was genuinely moving and made me feel incredibly proud. That also made me imagine what it must have been like for the team who drove this car more than 10,000 kilometers from China to the UK. They must have attracted even more attention, curiosity, and encouragement than I did. But when we talk about Chinese cars going global, it's about much more than simply driving a car overseas. It takes a complete support network, from headquarters and local teams to after-sales service and operations. This time, I also visited Yangwang's London office to get a closer look at how the brand is expanding in the UK. Along the way, many people asked me which company made the car. They might not have recognized the Yangwang name, but the moment I said it was BYD's luxury brand, almost everyone knew exactly what I meant. That really showed me just how strong BYD's brand recognition and sales presence have become in the UK. It also gave me even more confidence in the future of Chinese automakers on the global stage. This trip made me realize that every step matters, whether it's establishing overseas offices, building a local sales network, or driving all the way from China. Every effort helps Chinese automotive brands reach the world. Coming to the UK felt like stepping into the world of the British dramas I grew up watching. From rolling farms and historic estates to the coastline and the blend of classic and modern architecture, everything has its own unique atmosphere. Trips like this help us better understand a country's culture, how it works, and why travel is such a meaningful experience. On my final day in the UK, I visited the British Museum to see the priceless treasures from my homeland that are preserved there. I believe that one day, our culture will reach the world in a whole new way and flourish across the globe.